that's not what this video is about. I just needed something for the background so that I could talk about something while still giving you something to watch. I would do this with like a camera, but I don't really have anything to use, really. So instead, I'm just gonna have you watch me do probably the most boring thing to watch someone do on Trove, and that is fish. However, I am fishing in lava because I acquired a fishing pole that allows me, just by having it, to fish in lava. So it's different than every other time you sat and watched me fish. Alright, so as you know, the title of this video is how to improve multiplayer experience on console. Reason why I'm making this video is because I got to thinking about a video that I made a while ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago now. I was trying to reach out to the members of your Overwatch to get them to touch up on the issues that I have with their content, and that is that they don't really push the issue that the console version of Overwatch has a completely different meta than the PC version, simply because everyone plays differently. And then I got to thinking about it, and the reason why people play differently on console than they do on PC is because they're used to being able to play a game from the standpoint of, I can carry the team all by myself because I'm just that good. And the reason why that is because primarily the multiplayer game that gets played on console, or the games that primarily get played on console for multiplayer purposes, are games like Call of Duty, where after you reach a certain level, that is true. You can just carry your team because you've just got the best weapons. You've got extensive knowledge of every single map. You've got basic know-how on the weapons that you're best at, and just 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be placed in matches with people who don't know as much as you. So you can literally carry the whole entire team by getting all the kills. And so basically they're used to playing games that are based off of a kill-death ratio. Whereas games that I like to play, like Overwatch, Smite, which is a MOBA, which is primarily what the PC gaming community plays, which is on the PS4. I believe it's also on Xbox One. If I do think, yes it is, because there are exclusive skins specifically for if you link your accounts via the PC and whatever gaming console it is you play on. So basically, I'm used to playing team-based strategy games. where you need everyone in your team and their specific abilities of their specific hero, champion, god, whatever it is, in whatever they call it in whatever game it is you're playing, the specific abilities of each individual character that you and your teammates use. You need all those to work together, some master plan of how to get past the enemy team, basically. And that's all fine and dandy, but that's all fine and dandy if you're on PC. Because on PC, because everyone's used to playing games like that, when they play solo queue on that, they're more willing to communicate with you on strategy. However, games like League of Legends, I understand that people are quite toxic on there, and they still play from the standpoint of, I can carry the team because I know how to play this character very well, blah 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 blah. However, there's still that aspect of, we need to work as a team. So, I got to thinking about it, and I came to this conclusion. How can we improve our multiplayer experiences on console? Well, we need to take... We basically need to learn a lesson from PC gamers, basically. We need to be less attuned to only speaking with the people that are in our direct party. And we need to actually communicate with the other people that we get teamed with. It's as simple as that. And now you might say, yeah, but then there's games like Call of Duty where you don't need that. Yeah, that is true. However, your gaming experience on even Call of Duty would be improved. Because you can coordinate with your team, and you can take out key targets on the enemy team just by communicating, which can then throw off the enemy team's entire gameplay. And if your whole entire team is communicating and working together like an actual team on Call of Duty, and the enemy team is still playing like everyone else normally plays it, because you have that communication, you actually have the upper hand, because now you can all work together to take out individual targets. You can set up strategies, and the enemy team, all they know how to do is to run right into your right into your traps, basically, that you've set for them. Think of it like this. Even though Call of Duty, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, because you can just randomly change your setup and just change basically how you play the game. Well, it's a lot like... It is a lot like Overwatch in that aspect. 1 minute you're a sniper, the next minute you're running around with just a knife. So, I guess the point I was going to make here, kind of sidetracked me, is even though you can set up your character in a specific way to where you get the best value out of your character, you can still set up specific classes or basic class setups in Call of Duty. And then get a whole entire team of people together and play it like it's Overwatch or some MOBA, where each individual person chooses a role. So basically, think of it like this. There are 5 main classes of weapons. There's the assault rifles, which are good for mid-range combat. Can be quite dangerous if you get in close quarters, but not as dangerous as a submachine gun. Submachine gun's the second class. Really good at close quarters, decent at mid-range, terrible at long range. Assault rifles, they could also be pretty good at long range as well, but they're not as accurate. Then you have the sniper rifles. They are the elite top tier one-shot kills. They're the people who should be getting the pickoffs. Just the easy, simple, boom, dead. Alright, took out key target, move in, take out the rest of them. Alright, so now we have someone with an assault rifle who's supposed to be trying to keep people away, or basically trying to keep people at a semi-distance. Just kind of provide distance between the enemy team and your sniper. The sniper, who's trying to pick off the enemy team one by one, they shouldn't be getting too many kills, but they should be trying to get key kills. The submachine gunner can be your flanker. He's the guy who you send off in a random direction trying to get behind the enemy team to try and take them out in close quarters combat. Yeah, a sniper can be good in close quarters, however, the submachine gunner in close quarters has the greater advantage because he can deal more damage a lot quicker, whereas a sniper, you're relying on evading all of their shots and hoping to God that you get your one shot off, or you can switch your weapon in time so that you have a better weapon to use in close quarters combat. Alright. Well, there's still 2 more that I haven't covered yet. There's the shotguns. Shotgunners are close range insta-kills. They should be set up like tanks, basically. If this were a MOBA, or if this were like Overwatch, they would be your tank. So basically you'd set them up with a shotgun and probably like a shield or something. In fact, most people that play with a shotgun play with a shield anyway. So there you go. You've got a tank. You also set them up with perks and abilities that would essentially I'm sorry. I forgot I was fishing. But basically you set them with perks and abilities that would increase their likelihood of surviving the conflict. So abilities like the flat jacket that allow you to take more damage from grenades before you die. The tough perk or ability which makes you take, it reduces the kick that you get from being shot, I guess. I don't know how to better explain it. I have the word in my mind, just can't articulate it at the moment. But essentially it makes you flinch less when you're being shot, basically. Some of the older Call of Duty games actually have perks and abilities that allow you to take more damage from directly being shot at. Some of the newer ones, not so much. I don't know about Infinite Warfare, but I'm pretty sure there is not a perk like that on Black Ops 3. It's been a while since I've played that. Actually, it hasn't really been that long since I played it, but it's been a long time since I played the multiplayer. So, essentially, you can set up an actual tank on your team, which would be your shotgunner. Their whole goal is to just basically be the distraction, basically. Everyone's so focused on trying to kill your tank that they don't notice the sniper perched up, say, in some high building, shooting down, picking off all the other people on the enemy team. And in all honesty, in this scenario, a sniper's #1 priority should be to take out the enemy sniper first, because the enemy sniper is going to be the one person that they're going to have the most trouble with, because that's a distance war. Now, I know there are no healers per se in these games, so can't really cover healing, but you can also set up another tank. So essentially, the meta for games like Call of Duty would be to have 2 tanks, one less tanky than the other, because they're supposed to stay a little bit farther, and that's because they're the ones with the large machine guns, or the LMGs. So you have the SMGs, which are probably going to be the easiest to kill out of them all, to be honest, because they're going to be running around trying to get into the back line so that they kill everyone from behind. And then you have the LMGs, which are going to have a little bit more armor to them, because they have to carry around this big heavy gun, which is going to slow them down. But they're going to be able to stay at a little bit more of a distance, not as much as the people with assault rifles. So they'll be somewhere in between the people with the assault rifles and the attacking team. So essentially, you've got a lineup here. You got your frontliner going in with the shotgun. Got right behind him the guy with the large machine gun, who I guess you could also consider a frontliner, but he's not as much of a frontliner because he's got a more distanced weapon and he's not going to have as much protection. And then you have your guy with the assault rifle, who would probably be the third most armored out of them all, just because you have to get through 2 heavily armored people to get to him. And then you have your sniper all the way in the back, who is probably going to be one of the hardest people to get to kill, because you have to get through the whole entire enemy team to do it. And then you have your submachine gunner, who will be going around trying to flank and trying to get behind the sniper and kill them. So you have an all-out team war, and if you don't want to if you're the submachine gunner and you don't want to be the one trying to flank around trying to kill, then you can be being used as a scout. You don't have to be going around trying to flank everyone. You could just be going around scouting out the position of everyone, informing your team, allowing your team to make decisions on how to go about taking out individual people. So, essentially, by that point, sorry if you're paying attention just specifically because I'm fishing. Although that is probably the most boring video you're probably gonna watch. But like, I'm walking around the room that I'm in. I'm not even paying attention to the screen. So, yeah. So, like, every once in a while, I'll see the screen and realize that I'm still fishing. But basically, the point I'm trying to make is at that point, when you add all those aspects to a game like Call of Duty, you've thus turned it into all of the MOBAs and games like Overwatch that PC gamers play, because you're actually making it a team game instead of thinking, hey, I'm gonna go in this, I'm gonna try and kill as many people as I possibly can. Because in all honesty, at the end of a game in Overwatch or at the end of a MOBA, it doesn't matter what your kill-death ratio is. That's not gonna win you the game. And there are quite a few game modes in Call of Duty and games like Call of Duty where that's also the case. However, everyone still plays for their kill-death ratio. If people were to stop playing for their kill-death ratio and start playing for the team experience, the quality of your games will improve. You won't have these 3 to 5 minute games because everyone just murdered everyone extremely quickly. You'll actually have actual competitions to see which team can better strategize on how to take out the enemy team, basically. Every game can be played like a MOBA or Overwatch. And I feel like if people were to treat games like that better, or, well, if they were to more treat games like that, I should say. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of my train of thought here. If they were to treat games more like that, they'd have better experiences. And a part of this, the key thing behind this, is that you need to start communicating with the people you're playing with. And by communicating with the people you're playing with, I don't mean, oh, you're in Overwatch on the console, so you're going to inform your team that you have your ultimate, then use it. Or at the beginning of the match, you spam your hi emote because because that means you're communicating. No, I mean actually get out of the party that you're in with whoever it is you're playing with and join the team chat. Actually have verbal communication with every member on your team. Now, I know there could wind up being quite a few issues with that on console, because people on console, just kind of from my experience trying to communicate with random people on console, people on console tend to be pretty toxic. I'm not gonna lie, they do tend to be pretty toxic. However, I contribute that to a lot to people thinking that they're better than others simply because they had a better kill-death ratio, not even thinking about what they could have done to help the other person to improve their kill-death ratio, stuff like that. It's just like they expect everyone to be extremely good at the game or to just not play at all. Which is a very bad way of thinking about any game. Yeah, you may have played the game for 300 plus hours, and you've just to be able to get to the max tier that you could get to the max level that you can get to in the game. Good for you. That doesn't mean you know everything about the game, and that doesn't mean that everyone is going to be as good as you are at the game. I know I complain quite a bit when I play multiplayer games. However, I prefer playing the team aspect and cooperating with my team. Which is why when I play Overwatch, I primarily play healer, because then I rely on my team to basically do everything while I just keep them all healed. It's actually a pretty reliable strategy when you're solo queuing. It really helps prevent me from getting too angry when playing solo queue. However, I will not say that it completely denies me of anger. It just helps alleviate it, because I know I'm not the one that has to do all the work. I just have to make sure everyone stays alive so that they can do all the work for me. Honestly, I'd rather not have to play that way. I would honestly rather have communication with everyone on my team so that we can strategize how we're going to go about something. Because, to be honest, the reason why the meta on console is the way that it is because of the lack of communication. I know I'm rather guilty of it myself. However, I'd rather be playing in a complete team of people that I know and that can actually that I know I can coordinate with better. So I automatically resort to playing in a direct party chat rather than playing in TeamSpeak. However, I will say this: the other day, I was playing Rainbow Six Siege. And I realized that I had myself in a party that had no one in it. So I left the party and realized that there were people that were actually using TeamSpeak in Rainbow Six. So I started talking with them. And you know what? The people that I got to know playing Rainbow Six were actually pretty cool people. It's the thing, you don't know who you're going to come across. You could make a new friend while playing a game, all because you joined the TeamSpeak and you just hit it off really well. Now, I didn't actually befriend these people. I just had a really good time playing the game with them. They were, surprisingly enough, they were not toxic at all. No, there was no toxicity in anything that they had to say at all. It was a completely different experience than what I was used to. And if we could learn to do stuff like that more often on console, we could probably improve our gameplay. Like, I noticed that in that one game that I played with them, that I actually joined the TeamSpeak, we had enough communication to basically enhance our gameplay. After that, I just stayed in TeamSpeak, but I muted my mic because they left, and a few matches later, I found myself playing the game, and there was a guy who had a headset, and he just sat, and we were defending, and he just found a spot that was pretty safe, sat there, opened up the cameras, started looking through the cameras, and was verbally telling everyone where people were at. Informing them, hey, there's a person over here, you're the closest person to them. You should be able to catch them off guard, take them out. We need communication like that when we're playing our multiplayer games on console. Because of people communicating like that, I had a better experience in games. I use the help of these people. They were informing me of where people were, and I was able to actually I was actually able, like, I'm not really the greatest when it comes to playing games like Call of Duty, to be honest. I'm not the greatest. And not the greatest when it comes to multiplayer in Rainbow Six Siege. However, just because of that one person calling out where people are and who's closest to them and who can catch them off guard, I was actually able to live every single round and managed to get a few kills based off of the guidance of the person talking. When the person died, they still kept it up. They would watch somebody specifically and inform them, hey, there's a person behind you, or hey, there's a person just on the other side of that wall. And we would then take advantage of the information that we got through the person, and we'd get a kill. We'd catch the person off guard, we'd get a kill. So yeah, I would say that I had an improved multiplayer experience because I worked with cooperative teammates. So if you want to enhance your multiplayer experience on console, the best advice I can give you is to just join team chat. Communicate with the people that you're playing with. Get to know the people that you're playing with. Learn how to strategize with the people you're playing with, and don't get upset if they're asking you to change something that you're doing. They may be trying to help you learn how to play the game better, especially if you're a lower level. Also, don't be the kind of person that thinks you know everything and just says, oh, that's not gonna work, before you even try it. Try it, see if it works, then try to adjust your strategy based off of how it turns out. If you're playing Rainbow Six Siege and you're on defense and somebody chooses castle, but they chose bad placement for their bulletproof barriers, then adjust it for the next time. Say, hey, what else do you have unlocked? What else can you play? Or maybe you don't even need the castle. Maybe somebody chose, I can't remember the name of the class. It's under Spetsnaz, but basically they're the people that can booby trap an entryway, which basically guarantees you a kill if someone walks through it. I know as soon as I unlocked that class, I could not stop playing with that class just because it's fun to get booby trap kills. But it's just like things like that. Like, yeah, it's okay to suggest a change, but don't suggest it right away at the very beginning of the match until you know how it's turning out. Games like Overwatch, you can make those changes in the middle of the game. Just be like, you're just kind of sitting there, you're playing, and somebody's playing Widowmaker, but like every time they get a chance to get a kill, they get killed first. Well, not really getting much use of that Widowmaker. You could politely ask them, hey, is there anybody that you could get some better use out of, because your Widowmaker isn't quite working for you right at this moment. Maybe later on in the game when we get to said point, you can try being Widowmaker again. Maybe they don't know any other characters. Maybe they just happen to be the best Lucio that you could possibly get on the team, and you need a healer. Or they're really good at timing out their speed boosts, and you can actually get a decent speed boost out of that, at least out of that Lucio. But as it sits right now, because you don't have that communication, and because you're instantly in a party already when you enter these games, your team's not gonna know how you're feeling. Your team's not gonna know what you're capable of, and you're not gonna know anything from your team because your console automatically prioritizes your party over the team speak anyway. So if you're in a party, team speak goes away for you. You might be playing Call of Duty and you see that somebody's trying to talk, but you can't hear them because you're in a party. And the game automatically mutes all team speak because you're in a party. I will admit, I do like the party feature. It is nice. However, I do also feel that it is a hindrance to the capabilities of team-based games. And whether you believe it or not, Call of Duty's multiplayer is still a team-based game. Even though everyone treats it like it's them versus the whole entire enemy team, and there's nobody else on their team. Sorry about what you are currently witnessing. Yet again, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing on this game. I just simply needed something for the background of this video. But I feel like I've rambled long enough about this. Also, I'm pretty sure if anyone's watched this far into the video, they're getting kind of tired of just watching somebody fish who has 280 lures left. So, just kind of, I hope this gives a little, I hope this gives a little bit of help to the console community when it comes to how to better their experience on a multiplayer game. And I hope that it helps improve the quality of games played in the future. In all honesty, I really don't want to have to see games force people to participate in the team chat. However, if we keep going at the rate we're going, eventually that's gonna have to become a thing in order for team-based games to even work, unless you've already made a full team of people that you're gonna play with it when you go into a game. So, if you, I hope you enjoyed the video. As boring as it was, just me giving a lecture basically. But I'm gonna call it a video after I reel in here. There we go. So I'm gonna call it a video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. Let me know if you can think of anything that you want me to talk about in a future video. I will do videos like this one, maybe with different games. But it's all based upon how much I want to dedicate to actually talking about the topic. Like, I chose this game specifically because fishing is a mindless task that you can do. You don't even need to pay attention to the screen to be able to fish. But, yeah, let me know what you want to see in future videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video or broadcast.